Hi, so I'm Gabby.
I'm Ashley.
And today on
Netflix No!
We're reviewing an ABC Family original called Pizza My Heart.
And in honor of the flick that we watched, we decided to order pizza and eat it while we review because we're hungry and pizza's good. So yeah.
We're doing it for you though.
Definitely for you. Alright, so let me start by getting some pizza. And what did you what did you think of like the premise of the movie? Let's talk about the premise real fast.
So it's basically a Romeo and Juliet style movie with two competing pizza shops. One
in
is
New Jersey.
Montebello's and
The Prestolanis.
The Prestolanis are the Capulets and the Montebellos are the Montagues, which is much easier to remember since they both have Mont in the name, basically. So, Gina Prestolani and Joe Montebello meet.
I remember all that.
Yeah, I'm good at this. Meet while he's scaling a wall. They live next door to one another, like the pizza shops are next door, and there's this really great wall that's cement separating their backyards. So Joe
and they've grown up next to each other, but they've never really met. They kind of knew each other as kids, but they kind of forgot about that.
They had some incident when they were like 10.
There was a ball to his face or something.
And now he has a scar.
It's
because
cool.
Gina's apparently boss at sports. Okay, so they meet.
Well, the premise itself is really like Romeo and Juliet. Oh my god, so cheesy, but it's
cheesy. They meet scaling this wall in between their gardens, yards,
whatever.
Yeah.
And then sparks fly.
Literally.
Actually, though, one of the families sets off a thing so the sparks come out because they hate the other family. Basically, these families despise each other. They're always yelling. They yell at each other in church. It's great. The priest just can't have any of it anymore. He's just so done.
Yeah. One of the problems with this movie is that at the beginning, when Gina and Joe first meet, it doesn't seem like they have any history together. Yet it's very obvious that both of these families have lived next door to one another for several years, and then they bring up later the incident with Joe and Gina, how they had the football thing when they were kids.
And I mean, they kind of covered up with the fact that she just came back to town from being in college for like 4 years or whatever. So I mean, a lot can change in that amount of time. And so like they wouldn't have run into each other. And he was in the CSI, which we only find out halfway through. That's the Culinary something Institute.
School of Art. CIA. Culinary Institute of Art.
That's it. Thank you. Sorry.
Like
CSI. That's not the right thing. My bad.
So, the history between the two families goes all the way back to like ancient Rome.
I'm wearing white.
You are wearing white. That's a poor decision.
I'm sorry.
The history between them goes all the way back to ancient Rome, where the Prestolani's great grandfather invented pizza and
was the original like pizza delivery man.
And he was taking his pizza to this like Roman emperor, but those damn Montebellos found out and they created a pizza and took it to them first.
And so there's been a history of, and it's all whatever. And that came up, there's a lot of great quotes in this movie, which we found hilarious.
Yes.
And one of them came at that point when the father who was telling the story was talking to the daughter, Gina, and he's just like, the thing about fiction, Gina, is sometimes it's true. It was hilarious. There are a lot of really good quotes in it, stuff about like pectoral implants and a lot of some sexual innuendos.
Not a spice.
Arsenic's not a spice. And it made us laugh numerous times. So even though it wasn't like the best writing in the world, it was good enough to keep me entertained and kind of caught me off guard because I thought it was going to be a little bit more cookie cutter than that, and it wasn't.
Yeah, the movie is very cliched in a lot of ways. I mean, obviously it's following the same trope of a story that we all know from Romeo and Juliet. And they don't try to cover that up or apologize for that at any point.
They start off with a quote from Romeo and Juliet. In Fair, Verona, or whatever, and they literally live in Verona.
Yeah, live in Verona, yeah.
Verona, my bad.
Verona, New Jersey. Verona. So, the major conflict in this movie is there is this French guy, Jean-Paul, JP. And, he wants to, like, give his business to one of the two families and make them, like, a chain restaurant.
Franchise them.
Franchise, that's the word.
Make them lots of money. And the Prestolanis need the money because they're going bankrupt. But the Montebellos talked to him first because Joe was the one who was originally talking to him. So when the Prestolanis came into contact, it was almost like they were stealing it away from them. And this big rivalry thing happens.
So there's this this feast day, which obviously is a Romeo and Juliet story as well, where all the like Italian food places in Verona go and have this like outdoor kind of festival, and both of the families, Montebello and Prestolani, think they're being so original and build these leaning tower of pizzas. So they are like selling their pizza there.
Right across from each other. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And JP comes and he meets Gina and comes and tries their pizza rather than Joe's family's pizza. And that spirals later into
It was
Joe.
an accident, but
Yeah. It spirals later into Joe thinking that Gina was just using him for that.
Which
However,
is ridiculous.
the signature thing for the Montebello pizza is its sauce.
What a
And-
lovely sauce it has. It's so perfect and everybody
Yes.
enjoys it.
And the signature thing for the Prestolani family pizza is the cheese. So of course the entire time we're sitting there thinking, they should make pizza together!
It'd be perfect. And obviously, what do you think happens?
They make the pizza together.
It's great.
And they...
To the horror of the families involved, because these are all secret recipes passed down from generation to generation, never even written down on paper. So when they told each other the secret recipe and decided to make pizza together, it was just like blasphemy.
Yes.
But at this point, the kids were basically in charge. I don't really
Yeah.
know how they became in charge at that point. They were just
Well,
basically
there was,
like,
okay, there's a fire in the backyards because of that
Yeah.
weird sparky thing Transformer?
yeah.
It's a transformer, yeah. It's really old. And there's sparks literally flying from it all the time, and it sets the Prestolani's family backyard on fire because there were like a cubic shit ton of pizza boxes. And then a wire falls and is like going haywire in the Montebello's family
Haywire.
backyard. Hey! And then Gina and Joe are trapped on this wall. So the families are very concerned once they finally get there.
But they've been in church because of reasons.
Yeah, because of reasons.
Because of reasons.
Praying together, but not because they
It's
wanted
because,
to.
it's because the Joe and Gina got them there because they were gonna stall them while they ran away. But then they didn't run away because they
We
got
don't
caught
see it
between
as
the
running
fires.
away, we see it as sprinting towards our future.
I like
Good
that.
quote.
That was a good quote.
So, once the families come back and realize that their kids aren't dead, which I was a little worried, not gonna lie.
We held hands. It was
We did.
important.
It was cute. But they get back and realize that the families are together, and Joe's like, so I told her the secret sauce recipe.
And I gave him our cheeses and where we get them imported from and all that
And
jazz.
the families are like,
But like, we're in charge now. We're taking over the business, all these things.
so they rebuild a new restaurant together, and guess what they call it? Guess, I'll give you a
'Cause
second.
We were going for it. We had a few guesses, but
So, it was Montebello's Pizza.
no.
Yes, it
It was
was.
Prestabello's pizza.
Prestabello's.
Prestabello's pizza.
I'm an idiot, I know. I know.
It's okay.
So,
That's why there's two of us.
it ended up being really great. Both the families got together, and the dads are still fighting, like, oh, it was totally my idea for us to.
The dads are hilarious. Actually, all the family members are really hilarious. The brother of Joe, so the brother in the Montebello's family, he never had like a romantic interest, so he was just on the side. He always supported Joe, even when he was with Prestolani, which was cool. And he's just like, yeah, get it, Joe. And he was hilarious. He burns everything he cooks. His character was so Jersey. It was wonderful.
Gina has a sister whose name is. Oh god, I began with an A. Whatever.
Annette?
Annette.
Annette. We got it.
Who's in love with this guy that is in love with Gina,
So a little love triangle going on there.
but Gina's not at all interested in him.
Gina's not, she's not even really leading him on that much, and they
No.
kind of had a weird slut-shamey thing with that, which I disagreed with, but they kind of fixed it in the end, because I guess they friend zone the girl, which friend zones don't exist, but if they happen to have, and that's the
Yeah.
definition, it's in there.
And
It's great.
Annette ends up with this guy, Carlo was his name.
He was a great guy, honestly.
was.
He ran the restaurant for a while as a manager, and they were so cute together, and they finally got together. It was a very fun, everybody has a happy ending kind of story, which we both really enjoyed,
Yeah.
honestly. Very fun. So we've talked a lot about the plot and everything. I mean, okay, I had a little bit of problem with the editing every once in a while, just because it kept doing this weird thing. But yeah, it kept
You didn't like the
dissolving
fades.
between scenes and stuff, and I was like, I don't think you needed that. You cut. What if you have an establishing shot? Why are you dissolving? I don't understand. So I didn't like that. But other than that, the lighting was fine, and the actors actually were pretty decent, even though she'd only heard of one of them who was in Once Upon a Time. That's the
Yeah.
funniest guy. So other than that, it was fun. I enjoyed the entire movie. It kept my attention. I kept laughing. I had feels. It was good.
There was lots of amusement, lots of great quotes, like very mean girls in that way that you can quote.
You can quote it, and I probably will quote these for a little while.
Pectoral implants.
I'd never wear a shirt again. So I'd actually recommend watching this one if you have some free time and don't want to watch something that's like super intelligent or best thing ever, but it's fun and it's on Netflix and you can definitely get worse.
Don't watch it hungry. It will be the worst thing you've ever done to yourself.
Starving.
There is so much food porn in this movie.
It's an entire opening sequence.
Yeah, like they're just making a delicious looking pizza in the opening sequence, and then Joe cooks for Gina at one point, which is really freaking cute.
And they feed each other some pizza.
And they feed each other.
It was cute.
It was super cute. So, it's a really great movie. Actually.
On the O scale, personally, I'm very biased because I really like this type of romancy, happy ending kind of movie where I think everything works out and it's great. I'm actually going to give it 0 O's.
I'm giving it 0 O's as well. This movie was really fantastic, really funny, very cliched, but overall there's nothing really wrong with it. So
We're running out of battery, so we got to finish this up one last time.
Netflix!
We're going to finish our pizza. See you next Monday.
Have a good one.
Netflix, no.
Netflix, why?